Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out massively. And if anything within this reading resonates with you, my details are down in the description box if you'd like to book in for a personalised reading so you can get more details, more information. So let's get into this reading, shall we? And look, I can actually sit cross-legged now. Things are getting a little bit easier, a little bit more flexibility coming back, which is great. Okay, so put your energy and attention into what it is that you would like to know right now. So where is your energy right now? Let's see what your animal cards are talking about. Whoa, let's put those ones back. And we have communication, the rooster and the sunflower. My God, if you've ever heard roosters, especially in Asia and places like that, they sound so weird. It sounds like, I don't know, the musicians of Bremen, it's what I imagine that to be sounding like. It's sort of bizarre. So I feel like this is something that will make you happy. It's some form of communication that's going to make you happy. Maybe if you haven't been feeling very happy at the moment, then this is what you are needing right now. Let's get your moon cards and see what's in there. So what are your moon cards telling us to do with communication? Now, communication can be on different levels. So for some of you, I feel like it is actually you just really communicating a truth to yourself, or being vocal, and roosters as well is a bit like pheasants, where it's sort of about being seen, knowing when to be seen, wanting to be seen, to be heard. Awaken. So yeah, there's definitely something in here about, for some of you, I feel like you're going to be receiving some kind of communication, or there's an avenue for you to be asked what you think, what you want to speak, what you want to say. And that might be new for you, to actually be given that ability to say what it is that's on your mind, say what you want. That's really funny. I'm getting like, you see like a pier there. It made me think of Bournemouth then, which is in the UK, or like that kind of area. Perhaps someone's going on a trip to the seaside, somewhere that's like an adventure, some kind of trip. I can see somebody having an experience like that that's really fulfilling, and that might be what's being communicated here. Is maybe somebody's going to ask you on a trip of some form, take you away on a day trip or something like that, or for a weekend away. There's a lot to do with forward movement as well. So we've got like the sunflowers on there, which is kind of like joy and I know you said expectation then, but it's almost like an expectation of things happening. Like sunflowers follow the sun, don't they? And this is like you following that sunshine. There's definitely something about some form of going somewhere. And butterflies as well, which is like transformation, and also movement. They're part of the element of air, that communication element as well. So there's definitely something being communicated here that is in line with something that you really want. And it does feel like it actually involves traveling somewhere, actually going somewhere. So let's see what your runes are talking about right now. What's in your runes at this time? Okay, Naz. So an awakening, it was coming up on that card on there. This can be sort of like an awakening as well, an illumination, things being highlighted. So Kanaz, you could imagine it being like a torch, a beacon of light. And when you put a light on, it's noticeable, isn't it? And I feel like that's what's happening for you, is that light is starting to go on inside of you. And that's what's making you want to communicate this. It's making you sort of realise the truth. It's illuminated some truth for you. Kanaz is also connected to the solar plexus, the seat of your power. So there's an energy here of you being able to stand in your power, really acknowledging that power within you and your ability to stand in your power. Being the leader of your life. Thorazaz, taking action, a need for, we've had this come out recently in readings about a need for being defensive where you need to be defensive. But this is about protecting something that is important to you, is what I'm feeling, and maybe communicating an importance of something here that you want to protect. It's almost like you're stating, like, I want to protect this. I want to, you're kind of highlighting and awakening to something that really you need to protect and take action towards. And so Willow, intention, this is the rune of the sun. So we were saying about sunflowers and stuff before. The sun is, I think when the sun shines, it brings something out in you that makes you want to adventure. It makes you want to go places. And I've got a feeling that there's going to be a really sunny day coming up where you're going to spontaneously go, right, I'm going to go off and have an adventure, go and do something. I'm still seeing water. I'm seeing you being around water somewhere, you know, taking this day trip. Again, for some of you, this is somebody calling you up and saying, we're going to go and do this, come with me, which I wouldn't turn it down if I were you, just go for it. But it's really expressing how you're feeling around something here. It's being allowed to express how you feel. An awakening to, I mean, I've just noticed as well on this awaken card, those are lilies that they're on. Now, they're always really interesting because it's a bit like the lotus flower. They kind of come from the water and they sit in the water, but they're not actually attached to the water. So it's the art of detachment. And that brings me to the saying of like, it is what it is. So this is where situations can come into your life where it's sort of like things are out of your control. And instead of holding on to an expectation on it, or, you know, trying to control things and make them the way that you want them to be, it's just letting go. It's like, it is what it is. If it's meant for me, it'll work its way to me. If it's not meant for me, it'll sail away off somewhere else, but something else will come in. And that's kind of the energy that I'm picking up as somebody being in right now. Is sort of like, you know, you're not really attached to anything, or you're trying not to be too fully attached to anything. Maybe you've taken the emotion out of a particular situation so that you can deal with it. And because you're doing that, it's brought some fun into your life. It's brought an injection of fun and this level of communication that's enabling you to go, right, there's something really important here that I need to go and do, or that I want to protect. There's definitely this energy of protecting something that I'm getting. What is it that you want to protect? There's an energy of reminiscing as well. So perhaps reminiscing over, maybe you want to recreate an event that's happened in the past. So for some of you, this might actually be with a loved one or somebody or a friend that you've got memories with, and you're like, let's go to that place that we went to before. Let's go and have that experience again. Yeah, maybe this is to cheer your friend up, or your friend cheering you up, that kind of thing. Okay. Let's see what your current situation is looking like then. So what is your current situation right now? Let me see. Current situation is the 9 of Wands. So you've been very persistent. It's taken you a lot of stamina to get where you are right now. But there's also this energy of, and especially with Thorazaz here in the centre of your reading, there is something that you are defending at this time that you're very passionate about. And I can't quite catch what it is yet, but I will get there. But it feels like you are holding a torch for something and you're protecting it. You really want to protect it. And there is definitely some energy to do with this, to do with travelling or going on a trip or doing something that's going to spark or ignite that energy again. It's like you want to relive it. You want to relive a moment is what I'm getting from this. So that's kind of your current situation. Like you want to just relive a moment right now. And what is your challenge around that? I'm getting hope. Something to do with hope on here. But you see, hoping and praying is all good, but that communication card is kind of telling me that maybe you need to be vocal. You need to speak up about what it is that's on your mind. We have the Fool on there. I'm going to take that one because I feel like that's about you taking a leap of faith, taking a chance. And again, that Fool on this card was standing on water. I'm going to try that again because too many cards fell out there, although I can't deny that I've just seen the King of Cups. So that is emotional fulfillment. It's kind of like somebody with emotional intelligence, an ability to allow their feelings to come out. But I do feel there's something around drinking here, that kind of like those feelings come out when you've been drinking, but you're struggling when you're sober to sort of come out with it. The challenge here is the sudden changes that you're going through right now. So it feels like something really sudden has changed or transformed in your life that maybe you weren't expecting. And it's kind of like maybe affected things in a way that you didn't realise it would. It's kind of changed, and that's why you're reminiscing about some past experience that you've had. About this day that you've spent somewhere doing something, and it feels very much like what you're going through right now, this change, you're not quite sure about it. You're definitely holding on to something from the past, I feel, but you're not communicating what that is. So let's see what you need to focus on right now. Where should your focus be at this point in time? Your focus is calling you around sort of like karmic cycles. It's asking you to recognize the cycles that you are in and how are they serving you. Okay, now this is a fortunate card. Normally it's about change, but in a positive way. So it's like the changes that you're going through aren't bad changes, they're positive and they're aligned with your fate. But there's an energy here of, you know, asking yourself, and this is where Kanas comes into it, because it's kind of, Kanas will illuminate those dark corners of your mind and ask you to look at them. And that's not easy to look at when something's been illuminated there, and you have to question to yourself, like, am I okay with this? How does this fit with me? And this card can sometimes represent those karmic cycles and understanding the patterns that we are in. And are we happy with the change that we're going through? Because we need to know what our fate is, what we're leading towards. Again, that Fool is on the bottom. There's something here about you taking a chance, taking a leap of faith. And I'm getting something about there will be, you know, a missed opportunity if you don't. It feels like, you know, that the door is closing on something. And if you don't take the opportunity, it's going to go. And that's going to lead to disappointment. Let's see. I've got the star on the bottom there. So this is something about hope and wish fulfillment. Something that you are really wanting to happen in your life. Let me see. I'm getting a bit uncomfortable now, but I'm going to stay like it because I'm determined to. What do we need to let go of at this time? Yeah, there's something about letting go of the constant change of cycle, because it feels like there's a cycle that you're in. There's a constant ending and beginning, and that's getting a little bit exhausting right now. And it's kind of, right now, I think you are starting to see how that is affecting you. So there's a transformation that needs to happen here. And they're asking you to kind of let go of those cycles now. Let go of that cycle, because there's something that you need to kind of listen to a little bit on here. Again, we've got the Wheel and death and rebirth, which is again about cycles. That death and rebirth is a cycle. The Wheel is about cycles. And this is about you learning and understanding the cycles that you're in. Does it feel familiar? Does it feel like a pattern? Then you know how it's going to be. You know how it's going to turn out, how it's going to end. But there's a fear of changing that. There is a fear of doing something different in a different way, because the ego doesn't like different. It likes what it knows. But your soul is kind of calling on you to do something in a different way. What is the future of this right now? So you keep hearing disappointment and bitterness. There's a fear of that being the case if you don't take this chance. Now that's interesting because we've got the Fool and the Eight of Wands this time. So this is the future of this, is that communication is actually going to be very fortunate for you, and that you taking that chance to communicate something here is actually going to bring you better in your fate. It's bringing good news in. It's bringing a conclusion to the cycles and allowing you to move through that. There's this energy here of like fast action. So it's almost like as soon as you decide to do that communication, and I feel like it's going to be very quickly that you do it, maybe off the cuff kind of thing, it's allowing you to take a chance. I want to see what happens when you do that. Even faster. I mean, the Chariot as well. The Chariot and the Eight of Wands is all about fast action, fast movement. This is also an energy that's kind of like victory. So the Eight of Wands as well is about like good news. This is victory as well. So in your future card here, it's kind of like suggesting this is, I feel, very near future. In the next maybe week or so, there's going to be some change, and that's because of you communicating something that has been illuminated to you, that you've been awakened to, that you wanted to protect, that you feel like you need to protect. Remember this one. This is about intention. There's an intention that you set that you know is right for you. There's something here as well about a legacy and about this being very family orientated and like balanced, like something long lasting, basically, something that's going to be around for a long time. This could be, if this is to do with a connection with somebody, it could be that you see it as a long-term arrangement rather than a short-term casual thing. So let's see what advice we have for you. Everything, absolutely everything, is pointing towards sending a message, because the Page of Swords is about messages. It's a messenger, and also knowledge as well. So it's like learning things, and I feel like you've learnt a lot, and that's through you surrendering and taking a different perspective on where your life is right now and how things are looking. You're very switched on through your brow center, through Ajna chakra. Now this center is all about breaking through illusion and seeing clearly, the inner tutor, which is kind of like something is telling you to take a chance here. Something is telling you to take a different perspective and to surrender. And it feels like the surrender is about communication. I want to see about your environment. What about your environment right now? Okay, so your environment is talking about really putting some graft in, some hard work. You're paying attention very heavily to something here. What are you paying attention to? So you're really looking into the finer detail. I think it's about yourself. You're kind of reflecting on yourself quite a lot. And I do feel an energy here of, we've got the High Priestess on the bottom. So this is definitely about intuition. There's things coming through, and they could be coming through in your dreams. You could be dreaming about particular things that you're like, why am I dreaming about that? Why is that coming through? But you've had time to really like reflect on things. Maybe you have been meditating, or if you haven't been, when you've been doing just a medial job kind of thing. So say if you've been doing something monotonous, it could be washing up, it could be having a shower, it could be something that you do at work. There's been a thought or thoughts that have popped in, and like a story that's role playing out in your mind of what you would like. And I feel like it's to do with this day out, this trip that you want to take, and this communication. And it does feel like it is between you and another person. It feels like there's some kind of, friendship, or maybe even a partner or something like that, that you want to, you keep thinking about it. You keep reminiscing about this day that you want to recreate. And And I feel like you've been doing this for some time. Now, again, the number 9 is about completion too. So there's something about completing a cycle and getting a conclusion on something as well. But that's what you're paying attention to at the moment. You're really reflecting on yourself. Let's see what your hopes and fears are. Okay, so for fears, I'm kind of getting a little bit of cloudiness. So with the Ace of Swords, there's a lot here, and this is going to sound awful, but there's something about dishonesty. So there's a fear of maybe somebody not being honest with you. Maybe you feel like you've been tricked before or fooled before, and you're sort of like second guessing, well, am I getting the full truth? Are they telling me the truth? Can I trust this, basically, is what I'm getting. So there's something about trust and dishonour, and a fear of like betrayal that's going on. So that's more fears, I would say, than hopes. So let's see what your hopes are. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So we've got the Three of Swords in reverse on here, which is about forgiveness. So maybe this is something that you feel you've done. Maybe you feel you've been dishonest in some kind of way, and this is about you wanting forgiveness. Okay, so what about hopes? What would you like? What are your hopes from this? What are your hopes? Let's see. You got a moon coming out there. What do you hope for? That's interesting. The Eight of Swords isn't something I would necessarily expect to see for hopes, because it's kind of about feeling powerless and restricted and confused. So maybe you're unable to figure out what your hope is because you're confused about how you're feeling. So Canaz is going to help you to burn away the doubt and see clearly what it is. I'm going to get some clarity on that Eight of Swords. There's definitely somebody pulling back energy here through fear. So clarify that Eight of Swords for us, Spirit. Let's clarify that Eight of Swords. Okay, this could be about something taking too long, or things being too slow. Maybe feeling like somebody's run out of time here. It almost feels like an energy of somebody feeling like maybe there's been like things haven't been in harmony, or like doesn't feel very purposeful. There's an energy here of like trying to get the word for it. Someone's been reflecting on themselves, I feel, and they're struggling with, like, maybe you feel like you've taken too long thinking or wondering, and you're feeling restricted because of that. But now, and it's confusing you as to sort of like, what do I do from here? Where do I go from here? I don't know what to do next. Well, just, you know, you have been patient already. You know, things take time, but all will become clear. All will very much become clear. So let's see what your outcome is on this. So what is the outcome of this situation? So if this is you at the moment and you're feeling really confused as to what to do here, then please do get in touch, because we can do a personalised reading. We can get you more information on this. The conclusion is actually a hasty decision. So I do feel like you're going to be making a very fast decision. You're not even going to be thinking about it. You're just going to be going for it. So you're taking that leap of faith. So I do feel that you are trusting your intuition here. You're trusting your gut instinct, trusting what you're being given. And I'm just going to get one more card around that. So your hasty decision, what is this hasty decision that you're going to make? It's an end to conflict. It's an end to struggle, and maybe competition. It's like an end to games, actually, is what I'm getting from this. An end to a game. You kind of realise, like, I'm done with this now. I know what I want and I'm going to go after it. I'm going for it. You may be having disagreements or struggles at the moment, but you're starting to realise what you need to let go of in order to see clearly. So perhaps there's too much going on at the moment in your energy. There's too much kind of happening around this. It's a time to reach for that light now. And it's interesting because Kanas kind of represents this well. It's like before, if you imagine that light wasn't there and you were just struggling around in the darkness, not really knowing where you were going. But now suddenly that light has switched on and you can see it and you're like, right, well, I can step my way out of the struggle now. But there's almost like steps that you've got to go through to get there. But once you're on that last step, there's no denying the decision that you're making. It's very fast, a quick decision. And it's like we said before, there is a need for haste here. There is a need for speed because you may be running out of time. And this has all been a situation that's been here since May. There's something that's really been shown to you and highlighted to you. So you've been thinking about it all the past month, but now is this kind of like the door is starting to close on this opportunity, and now is the time to leap forward for it. Okay, I'm going to leave this reading here for you. If that resonates with you, please do get in touch. Leave me a comment or a like, even share the video if you feel like it might resonate with somebody else. And thank you so much for watching my videos, and I will see you all again soon. Have a blessed day.